Hi, I'm Karen. We're here at Montevilla Sewing Center, and today we're talking about the Janome 634D serger. In this video, I'm going to show you how to thread it. So to start with, I'm going to snip the threads here up at the top, get those spools off of there. Your machine might come with small white spools, so you're going to want to put on your own thread. And then lift up the presser foot, and that opens the tension discs. And at that point, you can just pull the rest of the thread right out like that. Now I'm going to use different colored thread on each spool so you can see which thread goes into which path. And I'm going to match it up to the colors here. So we have green over on this one. And the thread spools are a little bit staggered, but you can see basically they go from right to left. And then we got the blue one right here and the yellow one right here. Then we got to thread the thread tree. I like to do this part on all of them. It's really nice to have these little color guides that shows you which path you're on. Now the yellow one does look a little bit orange, but orange and yellow are pretty close colors. So put that one on there, put this one through here. Just slides right up over the top like that. Put the blue one right in here. It doesn't really matter which order you do this part, as long as the threads are going from back to front. So the tail end of the thread should be coming out the front part of the thread tree. Also make sure that this is all the way up. You don't want it part way or all the way down, because you need to have that extra lift there. Okay, so I'm going to start with a yellow pathway. You go back through the first hole, the upper hole, and then over the top and back, from back to front through the second one. I'm going to just leave that right down like that. Notice I just kind of dropped it into the lay-in tension disc. Again, with the presser foot up, that's important. If you have the presser foot down, what might happen is your thread might not get all the way into the disc. So you need to have that open. Presser foot up. Okay, this one here, make sure that's going the correct way. Remember I mentioned having the thread come from back to front through there. If you have it going the other way, front to back, you could get a little extra twist there. So that would give a little extra tension on your thread, and you don't want to have that happen. So it's best to just make sure it's free flowing as it comes off of the spool. The tension should be determined by the discs. Okay, almost done here. Back to front. Now, if it's easier for you to do this standing up, that might be the way to do it, just to get that part back there. Okay, now we're going to start out with the upper looper. That's the red thread path, and in this case I have some red or magenta thread in there. So we're going to go through here, making sure you watch here as you go to make sure you get all of your guides. So it goes down there, up under here, and these are like little hooks. So you just slide the thread up under those hooks. And we just have two more. That's this wire back here. And notice that I have the thread going behind the lower looper and this extra piece right here. Now for this part, I'm going to move my lower looper to the right, or my upper looper to the right a little bit so it's out of the way of the needles. Poke this through here. It does help to have your tweezers. Now you have tweezers in your accessories, so you can get a hold of that, pull that right through there, and for now I'm just going to lay that on top like that. Now the lower looper. So the lower looper, again I'm going to raise the presser foot so I can pull out more thread. Again, following the diagram right here. This little switch, by the way, here is if you're doing 3-thread or 4-thread serging, you want to have that up. If you're only doing 2-thread serging, you would put this down. That changes the tension just a little bit. So just make sure that this is all the way up when you're doing your standard 4-thread serging. Okay. We're going to get to a part of threading your serger, which makes this serger really special because it makes it easier to thread that lower looper. The lower looper on many manual threaded sergers can sometimes be a problem, but not with this machine. I'm going to show you this. So you see this arrow right here, that arrow right there. So we're going to push this up towards that arrow, and what that does is it brings this little elbow this way, and it also brings that extra guide. So from here, which is where we are, we have 3 more guides to thread. So at this point, I'm going to bring this underneath. It really does help to use your tweezers. Pull that a little bit further forward. There we go. Come on. Okay. There we go. It went right in. And then behind this hook here. Now the hook isn't where it's going to be when you're doing your actual sewing, but it's going to be right there now. Once you have that, push that right back, and now you have threaded both of those without having to stand on your head. Pretty good, huh? Yeah. Great serger. Okay. The last part of the threading the upper looper, or the lower looper, sorry. I like to have the loopers so they cross, so that way the looper thread, once it exits the eye of the looper, goes right up above the lower looper. So that's important. If you watch as you're serging, you'll see that the upper looper thread kind of goes underneath the lower looper thread. That's how it forms a stitch. If you get it underneath there, you'll probably get about 2 stitches, and then it'll stop and threads will break and you'll have to rethread it. You don't want to do that. So make sure this is going over like that. Okay. So now I'm going to, we got to re-engage the knife. I'm going to put that back up there. And now we're going to do the needle threads. And it probably doesn't matter which one you do first. I'm just going to go with the blue. Okay, so blue pathway here. Now notice there's blue and the yellow pathway. So both of the threads are going to go the same way. So slide that right up there. Go up above this little hook looking thing. You don't go into the hook. The hook is just there to kind of keep it nice and smooth. So you go above that. It's kind of like a take-up lever. If you look, it's not doing it right now. That's okay. And then you go into the right-hand groove. That's the blue pathway. And for the yellow pathway, under there, it's pretty simple. Up over here. Now, let's say you had the same color thread here. You know, practice this a few times, but you have the same color thread, and they're both, say, white threads. But you get to this point, and if you forget which is which, because they both look the same, just pull one of these threads. Whichever one moves, that's the one you put in that pathway. This is the left-hand one, the yellow pathway, right in there. All right. Now we've put it into the needle thread, or the needle bar guide. Let's snip these off. Now here's where I'm using a special tool that I found really helpful, especially for threading these tiny eyes here. I did it by hand using the tweezers, but this is also really helpful, especially for your needles. This is a Dritz product. It's called Looped Needle Threaders. And these threaders, you can thread from the front. You don't have to push anything from behind. You just thread it right from the front. So I'm going to thread the threader first. Go right through that loop. It has a little twist on the end that kind of helps hang on to the thread. Put my presser foot down. I think I'm going to close these doors here so that everything's out of the way. There we go. This is the left-hand needle, or the right-hand needle. There we go. Okay, pull that right through like that. Pretty slick, huh? And then the left-hand needle, that through there, right here, and push that right on through. There we go. So that's the Dritz looped needle threaders. These are also really good for threading your needles on your regular sewing machine as well as hand sewing needles. So keep this in mind. You get 6 of these in there because if you accidentally drop one, sometimes it kind of disappear on the carpet, and if you don't know where it is, you've got 5 more chances here. Okay, so I'm going to set that to the side. Now we need to make sure that this top thread is under the foot. This is the upper looper. So I'm going to put it between the cutting blade and the foot, lift up the foot, and then make sure that the needle threads are under the foot, like that. Now, I also want to make sure that it's actually going to make a thread tail, so press your foot down, and there, we've got a nice thread tail. And I know everything's threaded correctly because it's forming a thread tail. Okay, there's another way of threading your machine. It's a little bit easier and faster, and that's called the tie-off method. So the tie-off method, what you want to do is cut your threads right here above the spools. And the reason for that is it gives you a little bit extra thread hanging down to tie your thread. So I'm going to just kind of move these threads around, musical chair style. And then I'm going to take my thread and tie it onto the thread that's right above it. Make sure it's the one that's right above it, not catty corner or something like that. You do a single overhand knot. Single overhand knot rather than a square knot is a little bit more secure as it's passing through the thread guides. And then once you've got that tied, give it a little pull just to make sure that everything's all nice and just stays tied. Okay, shouldn't have pulled that back. Okay, get this here. Just take your time. Especially when you're learning, just take your time. Just, give yourself a little grace. Okay, you know what? I just tied that wrong. Isn't that funny? I tied the 2 ends together instead of... There we go. We all make mistakes sometimes. I was just talking about giving yourself grace. And if this happens, you can just thread the needle thread or the spool thread right through the thread tree again and tie it on the other side. So here is my overhand knot. Single overhand knot like this. Pull it tight. Let's see, I've got that one done. I've got that one done. May as well do this one now. My thread. Go like this. I'm going to just pull it right back through here, give myself a little more room to thread. This is why we cut our thread right above the spools, because that gives you a little more to work with when you're tying that knot. Okay, pull that tight. And if there's extra thread, pull it back towards the spool, because you don't want extra thread in here causing problems. Go over here. Pull this up over here, tie our knot. Once the knots are tied and we've tested them and everything's nice and smooth this way, now it's time to make sure that your needles are unthreaded, because once you have them unthreaded, because those knots that you've tied can't go through the eye of the needle. Just lift up the presser foot. And at this point, we need to kind of help encourage those knots to come through. Even though the discs are open, the knots still kind of get stuck there. So it might be good to just do one at a time just to make sure. And see, here's the knots. They're on the other side. We can snip that off. I'm not going to thread that yet. And here's my lower threads, my looper threads. I'm going to gently pull them through. Yep, they also need a little bit of encouragement to come through the tension disc and some of these other guides. They want to have, if necessary, just do one at a time. That's okay. But I was able to do 2, just gently pulling them through. And then, again, if you're not sure which is which, just pull that one. Oh, that's the right-hand thread. Then use your threading tool and, like I showed you, thread the needles, serge it through just to make sure it's forming that tail. So that's your basic threading on your serger. on your Janome 634D. We have other videos on maintenance, on Serger maintenance. Make sure to watch that video too. That's going to be very helpful in maintaining your Serger so it runs smoothly for you. So thanks for watching. If this video was helpful to you, give us a thumbs up. And if you have comments or questions, you can leave those in the area down below. We have lots of other videos you can watch. Thanks for watching. Bye.